Hi everyone, Pam here from Creative Homescaping. Today I am participating in the Christmas Tree Challenge that's being hosted by Heidi Sonboul of Happily Thriving Heidi. Please be sure to check out her channel if you're not familiar with it already, as well as the playlist of all the participants in this challenge using the links I've provided in the description box down below. And now, without further ado, I'm going to take you along as I decorate my penguin tree in my family room. Stay tuned. This is the pencil tree for my family room. I haven't plugged it in yet, but it is what I am going to be trying to tackle today. So before I get started decorating, I thought I would share with you how I've been storing my ornaments. I like these plastic boxes that have cardboard dividers in them because you can make the dividers as big of a space or small as a space as you want. And then what I do is I make sure I have a label on every side of the box, not on each side of each layer of the box, but at least one label on each side so that when they're in the attic you can tell what's in them. And then I do like them because they're clear and you can also see through them. So as you can see, I have this labeled candy tree, and it's all of the red and white ornaments that we usually use, and we usually do have a candy gingerbread theme on this tree, but because it's in my family room and I'm doing penguins on the mantle, I think I'm going to try to limit it to just red and white, no gingerbread this year, and add in some other penguin ornaments. So let's get started. Okay, so I realized that I don't have all of my stuff in those bins. I have some bigger picks that are in some bins we keep in the garage. So I'm gonna hold one up for you so you can see it. See? So I went and got it, and I will be doing the top of the tree. Okay, so I have 3 of this style, which are sparkly branches and these reddish glittery balls. And then I have 2 of these. I think I couldn't find a third one of these, and that's why we only have 2. And then I have 1 of this one. So this one I'll probably put in the center, and then I'll put the others around it. And then I have this one, which I actually use in the center of the tree as kind of a focal point. So let's get going on all of that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take some lengths of ribbon that will match the ribbon I have on the mantle and create rabbit ears out of them to tuck in with the sprays at the top of the tree. So I'm going to do a mix of ribbon, and I'll put in a few of this red, and I usually just do like an arm's length to nose. It doesn't really matter exactly how long you make it, but it does look a little nicer if you do it in small sections rather than taking it all in one big length and trying to wrap the tree with the lengths of ribbon. So I'm just measuring it roughly, and then I'm going to fold it in half and grasp it at the center, and then I'm going to make 2 loops on either side of that center, making sure that the right side of the ribbon, the sparkly side, is facing outwards, like so. And then you just pinch it together like this, and then I'm going to go up to the top of the tree and just stick it into the top here and wrap one of the little branches at the top around it, and then fluff. And I have cut the ends at an angle, but that just fills in some of this space at the top of the tree here. You don't actually need to make a full bow, and in fact it will work better if you don't. I'm gonna make a few red ones and then a few of the other colored ribbon that I've been using. And you can see I've fluffed it out just like you would any bow that is in one piece. And it makes a very full topper for the tree. Right now it's top heavy looking, but once I get the other ribbons on and the ornaments, it will fit right in. So I've cut a few lengths of each ribbon, and I could do this a couple of ways. I could attach each length individually, but again, because this is a narrow tree, I think what I'm going to do is create some bundles of the ribbons. I'm going to put the red one on the bottom, then the striped one on top of that, and then the polka dot on top of that. Mainly because the red will show through the others, but also then the polka dot one is narrower than the striped one. I'm just going to bunch the ends up, and then I could either put them as a grouping all together and start bunching them into the tree, or I can bunch them somewhat separately. So I may do a mixture of both and tuck them into the tree. Now I want to create kind of a random pattern. I don't want it to look like it was planned out in any sort of grid. Sometimes I do things a little more in a set rigid pattern. I like the way that looks, but for this tree I really like it looking more random. So what I'm going to do is start at the top up here underneath the little rabbit ear loops I've created and tuck that end in and twist some branches around it. Now I like the way it looks to come down more at an angle, so this first grouping I'm going to come in and put it way back in the tree and get one of the more inner branches to wrap around it here. And you can actually wrap it all the way around so you still end up with the tip sticking out. And then I'm going to create kind of a random looking poof here. And then I have enough for one more poof on this side. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make it come down here at kind of a diagonal. Leave the tails out this time a little bit more to create interest, and then wrap that branch around to lock the ribbon into place. Then I'm going to poof out the other ribbons from there. Now, rather than starting right here and coming the other direction, I'm going to start more in the middle and come down. I think that is going to create more interest in the tree. And I apologize for my head being cut off a little bit. Let me twist this down. But I wanted you to be able to see the top of the tree as I was working that way. So again, I'm grabbing it, making a little random pinch, and then I'm going to stick it in here. Find one of the branches, one that is not too tight with lights on it, so probably this one doesn't have any lights. And then I'm going to twist that around, and I'll puff the ribbon up a little bit there. And then I'm going to create some loops that are going the other direction. And I probably should have twisted it the other way so that it was pointing the ribbons more out that direction. So there. And this one I'm going to wrap kind of around to the side here. So before I put the rest of the ribbon on, I do want to put my focal point ornament pick into the tree. So this one I am probably going to bend up a little bit just so that I can get it in a good position without taking up too much space. So I kind of want it right in like this area of the tree. But now I'm going to work towards the back of the tree. I have the shorter lengths of ribbon. I'm going to put a couple of waves of that on the back, and then towards the bottom I actually use some slightly longer pieces. These are 2 arm lengths long, and I'm going to put it in slightly bigger loopings around the bottom because of the proportion of the tree spreading out as it gets lower down. So I will do that, and then I will be back. So one reason I love these spools of Costco ribbon so much is that there's so much on them. You don't really need to worry about being super frugal with your ribbon, and if you find you need more lengths of ribbon, you have plenty to work with, and that's the case here. I find I want to have a little bit more at the bottom than I had already cut, so I'm just going in and adding some more. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what the tree looks like with the topper in place and all of the ribbon on it. So I'm slowly panning down. If you've never tried putting ribbon on your tree, this haphazard look is really, really easy. You just cut lengths of ribbon and start pinching and twisting. And you can see how much fuller the tree looks like with just these pieces of ribbon on it and no ornaments yet. I only started using ribbon on my tree a few years ago, and I never really put ribbon on my candy tree until last year. I really like the way it looks. It creates a much more luxe look, and it is really very easy to do. So if you've never tried it before, give it a try. So next will come the ornaments. Okay, so I lied. I realized I had some garland I did want to put on before I put the ornaments on. In the past, I've used this garland for a variety of purposes. It is beaded jewel garland. I think I actually got this at Pottery Barn after Christmas one year, many years ago. And I really like it. I often use this on the mantel or over the French doors in my dining room, but this year I think I'm going to try it on the tree. Okay, the tree is all done. I'll take you closer so you can see it from top to bottom. The colors are very similar to my candy tree that I did last year, and the topper is a lot like what I did but this time the ribbon is different and I've only used penguin ornaments in with some filler ornaments. So here's the spray we created. I actually added these fuzzy green balls off camera. And then here you can see the first penguin ornament along with one of my family ornaments I talked about. And then we come down the tree and there's this nutcracker penguin ornament. There's the future ho 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 pick. There's some of these snow-filled ornaments. I stuck a couple little other birds on here. There's a blown glass penguin. And another penguin ornament. And one here. There's another one here. And a little penguin martini glass ornament. Another little bird. And at the very bottom I have a couple things I picked up from the Target dollar area. This Believe tree skirt, which reverses to a buffalo check, as well as this little sled. And I think I'm going to take some of my daughter's stuffed penguins and sit them on there. But as I said, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think it looks really nice next to my finished mantle. Well, what did you think? Did you like the tree? It's slightly different from last year's tree, which you can see in a home tour video I posted a few days ago. And I am really happy with how it turned out. I didn't use nearly as many ornaments on it as I have used in the past. But I'm really happy with it because there's a lot going on the mantle, so I wanted them to work with each other. If you did like it, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button down below. I post several videos a week on how to creatively manage and decorate your home. And lastly, I'd really like to thank Heidi for hosting this. It was a lot of fun to take you along as I decorated this tree. Thanks again for watching, and I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Bye-bye for now.